Across Britain, empty property officers employed by local councils are constantly carrying out detective work on our abandoned homes, working tirelessly to bring them back into use. In South Kent, Ian Cobby does just that. He's on his way to inspect work on the conversion of an office block in Folkestone town centre that's been sitting empty and unused for 5 years.
Property was previously an office accommodation block, purpose-built. It's become empty. The new owners bought the property about 6 months ago and have got permission to turn it into 7 self-contained units. That will mean that it will provide accommodation for people on the council's housing list.
The new owner has been granted a 5-year loan of £236,000 to be issued in stages. The loan is through Kent County Council's No Use Empty scheme. Today, Ian is meeting his colleague Steve Grimshaw and the developer Sirajul Islam to check the progress on site and hopefully sign off the second stage of funding.
Good morning, gentlemen. Steve, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Shall we go in and have a look at the work so far?
Yeah.
Thank you.
They'll only continue issuing the loan if the work completed at this stage is done to the council's exacting standards.
This is existing building and this is changing to how it will be now.
How many flats in total, Mr. Islam?
In total 7.
Oh, that's great.
First phase.
Yes.
And then we'll architect designing for second phase will be another 4 flats.
That's amazing. Can we see a little more then?
Yes.
Ian and Steve need to be assured that the build is progressing on schedule and within budget.
This is the bedroom.
Ah, yes. Yep,
It's flat number 6.
Right, I'm with you. Yes. And it looks, well, apart from the front of the building, it looks nearly finished.
Yes.
It would seem that there's been a lot of money spent on this.
Yes, it's already, yes. Which is carpenter will start from tomorrow.
Brilliant.
To put the kitchen and the second fixing,
Yeah.
which is cartings. And obviously they will do the mist coat and then they will start painting and then we'll put the skirting and doors.
Great.
So, Mr. Islam, we've seen a lot of work being undertaken today. Is everything going to plan in terms of the project timescales?
Yes, is everything going well, yeah, according to the plan.
And in terms of the overall budget, how are things going with that? Have you
It's going well, yeah.
Yeah?
And yeah, we are nearly there. So we are spending some from our pocket, so we are waiting for the next lot.
So you've already exhausted the first round of funding
Yes.
that we've given you. Well,
Yes.
I think myself and Ian are very happy.
Very
And
much so.
I think Kent County Council's No Use Empty scheme will be willing to let you have the second part of the contract in order to take the project forward and hopefully to satisfactory completion.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
It's great news all round, and with the loan signed off, the building is well on its way to providing much-needed homes for local people.
Well, I'm really pleased with what's happened here today. The work has been progressing fantastically, and I'm so pleased that Mr. Islam has actually signed the contract. It means that after 5 years, this property is nearly back into use, creating 7 units of accommodation, and that's fantastic.
If you're interested in tracking down a disused house to turn into a home, then your local empty property officer should be one of your first ports of call. Also, ask around the local estate agents and keep your eyes peeled for those telltale signs of abandoned buildings.